Hey there, thank you so much for joining me for the Go Ahead Look Back webinar. My name is Sophia Antoine and I will be your host today. We are going to be talking about how you can finish 2019 well and go into 2020 not feeling like you're at a deficit. Because I don't know about you, but for many years, it's like the year ends in such a rush, and it's not like I'm not expecting it, but I'm not expecting it. I am so caught up in living life, taking care of my family, going to work, and building my business that the end of the year always seems to sneak up on me and things are left undone. So, let me welcome you officially. Welcome to the Go Ahead Look Back webinar, where we will learn how to end 2019 well, start 2020 off right, and not feel like we're bad people for not getting things done. And one quote that really got me wanting to do this webinar was, "An unexamined life is not worth living," by Socrates. Because if you're not looking at the good as well as the bad, it just seems like your life is off kilter, it's off balance, and you really don't know which way to go. You're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, so to speak. And it's just in disarray. So this is not to say that you're out of order or things aren't going well in your life, but these are just 12 little things that you can do to kind of get your year finished off and like put a stopping point at it and get your year started on a fresh footing and you can go forward. So who am I? I am Sophia Antoine. I'm a certified life coach, and under that umbrella, I always, not always, but I also practice relationship coaching, forgiveness coaching, rewriting your life story, as well as transformational coaching. And for those who are either experiencing chronic illness or have a spouse or a loved one that's experiencing chronic illness, I also do chronic illness coaching. So that's about me. I've been practicing for about professionally about 4 years now, where I've gotten myself out online. I'm taking clients and things like that. But it seems like as far back as I could remember, I've always been a sounding board for friends and they come to me for advice. And we did that whole thing probably majority of my life. So that's who I am. Personally, I am a wife. I am a mother. I recently experienced a move in my life. I lost my father a few months ago. So that's all new. So I'm still taking time to get used to what life is like without having a dad. So that's just some personal stuff about me. And depending on when you watch this, it may not be a few months, it may be a year, it may be a few years. So if you're going through that, it's been an experience. So, and I didn't deal with it the way I thought I would, but I'm studying grief coaching now. So hopefully by the time you get to it, I will have been certified in grief coaching as well. But moving right along, not to get off topic. So the very first thing is take inventory. Yep, we're jumping right in. We're going to take inventory. Write down at least 2 high points in each month. And everything counts, because it seems like a lot of us suffer from low self-esteem because we think we don't accomplish anything. We accomplish so much. I don't care if you drank more water, if you exercise more, you got a new job, you improved your relationships, any relationship, you quit smoking, you got therapy, you hired a life coach, you cleaned up your bedroom, you kept your bedroom clean, you did all your laundry, you actually folded the laundry after you did it. It counts. So for January through December, depending on when you watch this, at least try to jog your memory and look back and see at least 2 things out of every month that you did that you could be proud of yourself. And I don't care if it's something that someone else did or someone else finds easy to do. If you did it, then it counts. It's something to be happy about. It's something to put on your check off list. You did it. So no matter what it is, it counts. I can't stress that enough, because we don't give ourselves enough credit for the things that we accomplish. So Definitely find 2 things. And if you find more, that's even better. Go ahead and log it on your sheet there, January through December or January through November, since the year hasn't fully closed out yet. But definitely make sure you write it down if you think of it. So number 2, saying thank you is a big one. No matter who raised you or how you were raised, I am pretty sure that you were raised to say thank you. So send a thank you note to those who played a significant role in your life. Handwritten is best, but if time doesn't permit, send an email. This is also a great way to reconnect with those you've not had contact with in a while and improve those relationships. So saying thank you is awesome to rebuild relationships, as well as just to let people know that they're appreciated. Most times people suffer from low self-esteem is because they don't know that they are appreciated, or they're only told every once in a while that something that they did caused you to be happy, or it made your life easier, or that you're better because they're in your life. Don't feel like you have to reach out to everybody in your life that did something for you, but those who made a significant difference. Maybe someone watched your kids when you had to go to work, and otherwise you would have been fired or something like that. Or maybe someone gave you a ride a couple times and you really didn't know how you were going to get to the grocery store or get to work or get wherever you were going if they didn't take the time or go out of their way to take you wherever they had to take you. So definitely make it a priority to reach out to those who especially made your life easier or did something that stood out to you, for somebody you love this year. And that will give you a feeling of accomplishment. That will give them a feeling of appreciation. So it's helping you both on this end. So say thank you. Number 3, take care of the things around the house that you've not been able to get to all year. It's very important to change your batteries in your smoke alarms, change air conditioning filters, change fire extinguishers, or check them. If you've used them once, I think the pressure is out, but check with your local fire department. They can tell you how often you need a fire extinguisher. If you don't have fire extinguishers, grab some. They're not very expensive. I think they can be found in your local Walmart or Big Lots or things like that. They're good to have around the house and in the house. So definitely have those. Change batteries in your carbon monoxide detectors. Those are really important because you cannot smell that gas. So if it's creeping in and floating around your house, you wouldn't be able to smell it. So we don't want an accident to happen. Definitely check those things. Also, take care of your vehicle. Balance and rotate your tires. Get an alignment if it's pulling to the left or the right. Get you some jumper cables. Get some of those little glow sticky things, throw in your trunk. Change your oil and your air filters. All of that's important because I know if you're anything like me, because I do work full time, go ahead and use whatever little PTO you have at the end of the year to take care of things around the house so you can start your year knowing that you have your home in order, your vehicle in order, and you can start fresh. So those are my tips on that front. And that's number 3. Moving on to number 4, clean up the clutter. Not physical clutter, so to speak, but your digital clutter. So we all have those people who send us emails or we're on email lists and you promptly delete it. So instead of taking the 2 seconds that it takes to delete it, go ahead and unsubscribe if you no longer find that information useful. So it may seem like it's a hassle or something like that, but it's more of a hassle seeing the emails in your inbox every single day or however often this person reaches out to you and having to delete it. Just unsubscribe. And if you feel like you're missing the content, go back and subscribe again. No worries. Cancel magazines or newspaper subscriptions because all they're probably doing is collecting dust around your house. And leave Facebook groups that you don't visit anymore. I just did this and I think I got rid of 20 groups because I was seeing things on my Facebook timeline and I didn't know why I was getting it. And it may be something you lost interest in or something you're not doing anymore. But go ahead and leave the groups. And if you're not sure, keep an eye on it for a couple of days and then determine if you want to keep going with that. So we all know there are sometimes negative people on our actual timeline. Mute or unfollow those who don't match your current vibe. It's okay. And I don't think they even get notified. So if you're worrying about somebody getting notified, don't worry about it. And even if they do, hopefully you have enough courage to say that, this, whatever you post doesn't, feel right to me anymore, or it's not something that I indulge in anymore. I've moved on. I've grown. That's okay. People are supposed to encourage your growth. And if they don't, you need to reevaluate that friendship or whatever type of relationship you have. So number 5, review and update important paperwork. This is so important because we just put paperwork away. We file it in a file cabinet or one of those accordion files and don't go back to it, even though things in our lives change. It could be your health. It could be your marital status or anything like that. So make sure you have copies of the important personal documents for every person in your home. Marriage license, birth certificates, immunization records, especially if you have children, passports, wills, bank account information. Save to the cloud as well if possible. That way, if something happens in your home while you're not home, maybe a flood or a fire, God forbid, you still have copies of it in the cloud. Or you can at least get copies of it in order to get you some new documents, especially like a passport. Shred what you no longer need, because this is the age of identity theft. Make sure you shred it. Or take it to one of those places with the little box where the people come. And I know that's so vague, but where the people come and take it to a secure shredding facility. Delete old files from your PC because we change over technology so quickly. Actually, I kept my last 2 laptops, but a lot of people sell their stuff and they forget to delete the old stuff that's on there. And a lot of times it's personal. So make sure you delete old files from your PC that you no longer use or that you need. And even if you're keeping the PC, it gives you more space to put more stuff on there or more family pictures or whatever it is that you want. But if you're going to get rid of it, wipe the hard drive. Okay? Also update your medication list. I'm not on any prescription medication myself, but a lot of people are. And it could be you go to the doctor to update it and the doctor changes either your dosage or he changes it because you're not reacting well to whatever medicine you're taking. And we forget to update it on maybe the little slip of paper we keep in our wallet or the app on our phone. Because my husband, he has prescription medications and he has an app on his phone and he keeps something in his wallet in order to, just in case he can't get to the phone's dying or whatever the case. But check for correct medication names as well as dosages. Place a copy in your glove box in your vehicle and keep a list on your phone. And still, good old pen to paper does not hurt. Put it on pen and paper in case something happens and you don't have any service on your phone. Keep a copy in your car. Maybe if, God forbid again, if you're in an accident, you can have a copy so maybe the rescuers can see what you're on before they give you something you'll have a reaction to. All of these things are important. And I know it may not seem like, Sophia, this doesn't seem like it's something that has to do anything with the end of the year, but just try a couple of them. Try a couple and I guarantee you, it'll make you feel like you've done loads. Even if you don't use it for yourself or can't use it for yourself, your parents, your grandparents, your neighbor, your friend, somebody can use these tips. So feel free to pass along this information at any time. Okay, so number 6, check the time. Not literally checking the time of day, but your time. Say no to things you don't really want to do. If nothing else, I know that life is really short and you shouldn't spend it doing things you don't want to do, except going to work, paying bills, and paying taxes. You kind of got to do that. But everything else, feel free to say no to, or things that aren't important to you at your core. feel free to say no. Use a planner to document how you spend your time, or just keep a log and see how long you spend doing things you don't want to do or you don't like to do, and see if there's a way that you can change that. Schedule things that are non-negotiable. Schedule your self-care. Put yourself on your calendar, blocking off time, not allowing other people to take up that time, because you are important. And if you're not good mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you're not good to anybody else. So definitely schedule your self-care and make sure that you put you on your calendar so nobody else can infringe upon that time. That is a non-negotiable. And track your social media usage. I have been sucked into the Instagram / Facebook vortex so many times. I get on at 11 o'clock, look up, it's 2 o'clock. I've done it. So I know there are a couple apps on like a computer that can prevent you from going there. But on your phone, I don't know if there's that type of protection. But you really got to guard your time, because then it puts you in a rush. So you don't want to rush and have to do, things that are important to you because you meant to get on Facebook for 5 minutes and now you've been on it for 5 hours. So just be mindful of that. Number 7, try something new. You would be surprised how trying just one little thing can affect the way you feel about how you spent your year. So visit your city or a nearby city as a tourist. That is so fun. Be a tourist in your hometown. Try a restaurant from a different culture. Maybe you've not had the food before, but you can try. I'm sure you'll find at least one thing on the menu you'll like. And do something you liked as a child. That is amazing. I started jump roping again, and it, as part of my exercise, and it is so fun, and it makes you feel better. It makes you feel younger. It makes you feel like you're doing something again for the first time. So definitely do that. Number 8 is important. Visit the doctor. Go get an annual checkup. Get permission to work out. Check for any illnesses that, is said to run in your family. Check for interactions with prescriptions and over-the-counter medications. So visiting the doctor can be scary sometimes, but it is important to get ahead of whatever may be lingering or brewing or going on in the background. So if nothing else, get an annual checkup and get permission to work out or get permission to do some type of physical activity, because that is important to keeping you healthy. And you may not feel good at first, because I hate when I, fall off the workout train for a bit and go back and my body is so not used to it, and I am in pain, like literal pain. I could barely lift my arms. I can barely lift my legs. Sitting down, like making the motion to sit down, is painful. So go ahead and get to the doctor, and let's go ahead and start that early so you don't have to worry about it. Visit a financial advisor, or at least search one out that you can afford. Start planning for retirement, because one thing I know is that the days are long, but the years are short, and it just baffles me how quickly I went from 4 to 40, and now I have to think about, planning for retirement, what's in my 401k, and the money that is being spent by people now to be in retirement will not be the same amount that I need for retirement, because things are going up. So what you don't want to do is be that person that has to go to the grocery store and buy cat food because you can't afford regular food, because you had to choose between regular food and your medications. So get that stuff together. If you already have that together, which I hope you do, plan for a dream vacation. Have a financial advisor tell you how you can go around the world, or how you can, go visit your favorite countries, or trace your lineage if you've done that DNA thing. Go visit where your people came from. So plan that and take some people with you. Establish a trust for future generations. It would be amazing if you could, take care of the financial obligations of maybe your grandchildren or your great grandchildren. You have the capacity to do that now if you get started right now. So go ahead and visit a financial advisor, or at least research what it takes to visit a financial advisor, and you will be off on the right foot for 2020. Now, number 10, upgrade your resume. You could be at the same job that you were last year or the year before, but that doesn't mean that you've not learned anything new. That doesn't mean that you've not done anything new. That doesn't mean that you've not been cross-trained. So, update your resume to add new skills you've acquired, add part-time jobs or self-employment that you've had, update your LinkedIn profile, add continuing education credits, add speaking engagements that you've done, add trainings, workshops, or webinars that you've hosted. So now I'm going to be able to add this webinar to my resume or my LinkedIn profile because I've hosted it. I'm providing useful information to people that can definitely go out and make a difference in their own lives. So I can add this to my own special resume. So whatever you've done, you have skills beyond what your job description says at work or beyond what you know. When in doubt, ask your coworkers, ask your supervisors, ask your friends what you bring to the table, and they will tell you, all the things that you're good at and how you make differences. Those things count on your resume. You may be great at soft skills that, definitely customer service and, other people who work with people need. So update your resume. Okay. Number 11, get moving. This coincides with visiting the doctor because you want to make sure your body is in optimal shape. So you are here for as long as you possibly can be for your future generations to see your family flourish. Okay? So start by walking at least 30 minutes per day. 30 minutes seem to be the optimum time just to get your heart rate up, just to get your limbs oiled up and, so you stay in shape. Get a pedometer. Now, I actually have a Fitbit, so if you have a Fitbit too, feel free to add me. Go ahead and shoot me an email with your email address so I can add you and we can compete against each other because I'm really competitive when I do work out. So, or we can just encourage each other, but I do like to compete. I learned that from my husband that everything is a competition. You wouldn't believe the things we compete over, but that's for another webinar at another time. But buy new workout gear. I love to buy workout clothes. I love to buy workout shoes, and I have a whole lot of it. I just got to use it so much more. And grab a friend and get fit together. Again, I'm on Fitbit. If you want to add me, feel free. Send me over your email address and we can do this thing together. Okay? But get moving. Do something. Number 12 is start journaling. Now, if for no other reason, know that journaling is important because your thoughts matter. Your ideas are awesome. And you want to remember the good times because we are so apt to write down good times rather than bad times. But remember the good times because you'll be able to go back to what you wrote, that journal entry and what you wrote, and you'll be able to see how awesome your day was when you're having a really down day. And I prefer journaling by hand because you'll also be able to see that it happened, you wrote it down, and there's proof in your own handwriting that things will get better or that you did have some good times. But if it's just strokes on a keyboard, anybody could have typed that. But if it's your own actual handwriting, you're more apt to believe it. Okay? Now, that's the conclusion of the tips that'll get you to end the year well or start your year off like on great footing. But after this, what I'll be offering is a new course called Hanging in the Balance. And that term usually means to be in a precarious situation, unsure of the future, which a lot of us are, myself included in some aspects, because I can share with you, like I mentioned, my dad passed a few months ago, and I just didn't know what my future held. And it led me to understand that my life is so out of balance, which, I mean, the death of a parent is awful. And it's, until it happened to me, I really couldn't empathize with someone else who it happened to. I just kept praying that, you know what, that I was prepared when it did happen to me. And somewhat I can say that I was, but it's still a shock to my system. But the course itself will have a small class size. I'm looking at about 15 because I want to be able to give people individual attention. It will have a Facebook support group. It will offer an in-depth assessment, a life assessment. Not that I do, but that you do. Because I don't live with you every single day. You are with yourself every single day. So you know, I may help you see the truth, but it's up to you to go ahead and, you know, come to terms with it. Along with the course, there'll be a complimentary full-length coaching session, which is 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what the issue is. And we can go from there. But my course that's coming up, it's called Hanging in the Balance. So if you want to get the details, go ahead and go to bit.ly/tip the scale. Get it? Balance scale. Yeah, it worked. So bit.ly tip the scale, and you can go ahead and get on the waiting list to find out more details. Okay. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and I hope you put the tips into effect. What I want you to do is, if you have questions, please do let me know. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or you can just go to my website, sophiaantoine.com, and reach me there. So again, I thank you. You've been a wonderful, wonderful audience, and you take care.